Hello everyone. Thank you all for tuning in once again to Tales by the Fire. Last episode, Kala had an unfortunate run-in with two men who nearly made her transform, which would have resulted in a town-wide massacre. However, before things got bloody, Dante stepped in just in the nick of time and took Kala to a hotel to give her quite the verbal thrashing. And now, while Kala rests in the hotel, Dante goes out into town to do who knows what. How has Dante taken this whole situation? And what is he doing wandering around at night in a foreign town? Find out in this episode of Tales by the Fire. Chapter 10: Bodyguard by Day. As I unlocked the door and slipped out of the shabby hotel room, I could already hear the girl's steady breathing behind me. The creature was full of strange quirks. I had been reluctantly amazed at her astonishing tolerance for pain, but surprised at how she acted when I shouted at her. Even though she was only a beast, I still felt a strange pang of guilt when I saw the terror in those eyes. Also surprising to me was that she had only attacked when they had insulted my reputation, not hers. The pain in her eyes was deep when she spoke, and she reminded me so much of that other woman from years ago. A thought of her thanking me for throwing her dagger and skewering her hand made me chuckle grimly as I approached the inn's back room where the innkeeper was waiting for me. That girl was certainly a strange creature. Still, despite these quirks, these curiosities, the only feeling I had toward her was a deep revulsion. Today, though, after I had shouted at her, I had tried so hard to hide those feelings. I again wondered if she truly was able to deceive a person into believing that others were not actually the same as how they acted. "Hello, Dante," said the innkeeper, a rough, burly man with eyes like flint and a heart of equally solid material. He ushered me into a small living room that was attached to the inn. "What brings you here through Madokai? Wasn't expecting you for another few years." "I'm here on a job," I explained, sitting down on the wooden chair. "That doesn't surprise me. Still a mercenary, I take it?" I nodded, my hand moving to my sword instinctively. "Who's the girl with you? Your lover?" I shook my head, feeling a shudder run down my spine. "Definitely not." Sorry," he apologized. "She's pretty enough, though. You'll have your hands full keeping the men off her. She a relative, then?" Again, I shook my head. "No, she's a job this time. I'm supposed to guard her until we can reach a certain destination." What's so special about her?" I said nothing. "I'll take it you aren't allowed to say any more, then. In that case, let's get down to business." "Yes, please," I said, looking up. "What is it you need, then?" "There's a group of men in this city, only 2 or 3 of them, that are stealing from anyone and everyone. They've also gone as far as kidnapping children and killing relatives if those they target. The police are too afraid to do anything, so I'm recruiting you. What do you say, Dante?" "How much?" I asked. "I'll give you 50 gold coins for each one you take out. How about it?" Sounds good, I said, rising to my feet. Where can I find this particular bit of scum? They prowl around alleys outside the nobles' houses at this time of night. I'm sure you met them before. I heard there was quite a bit of ruckus concerning them earlier today. Apparently their leader got his face shredded, and one of his others took a bit of damage as well. I haven't exactly heard what happened, though, except that young lady you were with is somehow involved, and that she's injured as well. She alright? I nodded. She's fine. I'll be back in a bit, I said, turning to the door. What do you want me to do with the girl if you don't return? He asked me. I froze for a moment. Have someone dispose of her. But I will be coming back. With that, I left. The town was eerily quiet at night. Trusting my ears and the moon to guide me, I followed my previous knowledge of the town's layout until I reached the noble's fancy manors. There, I prowled along the quiet alleys, feeling much like the monsters I was hunting. Hey, Dante, old boy, you're getting slow, came a voice from behind me. I spun on my heel, reaching for my dagger. In front of me was the man who had been in the town square earlier, who had been attacked by the girl, and would have died if it weren't for my dagger. I could tell that his injured shoulder was bothering him, but he still had the advantage of surprise. Easy, Dante. We don't need to fight, he said, stepping out of the shadows. Why don't you come help us? We're going to take out one of those rich noble scumbags. Care to join us? We'll split the pay. Just like old times, eh? Don't look me in with trash like you, I spat angrily, drawing my dagger. I'm here to kill you. So, I guess your line of work hasn't changed that much after all, then. Just one type of killing for another. Shut up, I hissed angrily, feeling myself lose control for a moment. Make me, he taunted childishly. His provocation worked, and led me to making a possibly fatal mistake. I lunged forward, and by the time I heard the sound from behind me, there was barely enough time to avoid the killing blow. I threw myself to the ground and rolled to my feet, feeling the pain from my gash on my left side. Snarling like an animal, the second man, his face swathed in bandages, launched himself at me. You were with that girl! The one who ruined my face! He spat, slashing wildly in the air. The gleaming blade was easily dodged, and I countered quickly, thrusting my blade between his ribs. Sorry, but this is part of my job, I said with a grim smile, and removed my blade. The man fell to the ground and was dead in seconds. The first man cursed at me. Dante, you traitor! He shouted. I'll kill you for what you and that whore are playing! He came at me with more skill than the other, but his attempts were still laughable. I knocked his dagger away easily. It's ironic. I should have just let her kill you, I said simply as I slit his throat. His blood splattered to the ground and I wiped my blade on his jacket, before emptying the pockets of both men. I turned away and walked back to the inn. My job was over. Easier than I expected. Done already? Asked the innkeeper as I sat down across from where he was waiting. I nodded. There were only 2 of them. I tossed him the things I found in their pockets, which were only a handful of loose coins. Thank you, Dante. Good work, he said, handing me a small pouch of coins. Since you have some time, would you like taking another job? No problem. Killing doesn't matter to me anymore. Whether it's criminals or innocents, it's all the same. After I completed my next job, I returned to the inn and washed the blood from my skin. Hopefully the girl would not notice. I wonder what she would do if she learned of my other job. Would she kill me? And could I stop her if she tried? When I returned to the rented room in the inn, the girl was sound asleep. I heard her breathing speed up for a moment, and whether she woke up or was aware of my presence on some level, I wasn't sure. She didn't stir though, as I gathered the bedrolls and lay down on the floor. It took me a while to get to sleep, and my dreams were filled with blood. That was Chapter 10 of Marked. It was written by Darkhawk14 and posted on fictionpress.com. Thank you all for listening. If you'd like to read the story in its entirety, then go to Darkhawk14's fictionpress.com page in the description. And as always, I'll see you all next time on Tales by the Fire.